My name is Nancy Coronado, and I will first just want to let you know how we set up this year. We've got our 8th graders down here because there are too many of them to put them on the stage. So they're right down here. There will be a photo opportunity at the end, so you will get to see them all up here. You can obviously take photos as you need to, but we'll set up a nice time for you to get the whole group together with kind of everyone us out of the way and then up here too. So there will be that at the end. Anything else? If you don't have a program, if you want to raise your hand, Lila and India and Chloe have programs, right? To share with you. Okay. So they're going to come by and give you a program if you don't already have one. All right. So as they're doing that, we'll get started. On the program, you'll see that we have our 7th graders who are going to be coming up. They've, as a group, prepared something for the 8th graders. As you know, we're a really integrated community. Our 8th graders and our 7th graders work alongside one another for 2 years and spend a lot of time with each other, creating the bonds of friendship and academic work together, and going out into the community and doing service work and all the things that go along with a Metro experience. So it's a big step for them as well to say goodbye to their 8th grade friends, and they have, as a group, prepared something, and several of them will be sharing that with you for the group today. So 7th graders who will be presenting, you can come up now.
The 7th graders have bought us some wishes and hopes for the graduates. May you always have inspiration to keep learning. May you always have an infinite amount of happiness. May you always have a world of energy to bridge the gap of learning and understanding. May you always have an unlimited amount of adventure.
May you always have a lot of friends. May you always have a lot of fun adventures. May you always have a lot of success. May you always have an eternal amount of happiness, and may you always have an abundance of your friends.
May you always have a touch of remembrance at Metro. May you always have an unlimited amount of peace. May you always have an infinite amount of friends. May you always have an infinite amount of joy and happiness through your life.
May you always truly understand the world around you. May you always have an unlimited amount of wealth and knowledge. May you always have your interests pursued. May you always have the motivation to work hard.
May you always have an unlimited amount of joy. May you always have an endless supply of drive for greatness. May you always have fun trying new experiences. May you always have a shoulder to cry on. May you always find happiness in the simplest things in life. We represent all the 7th graders in wishing you the best of luck in high school. Thank you.
Maybe it's an endless school year, or I'm just tired of the emotion that this always gets to me. I'm going to go just a little off script and ask if all of the graduates would be able to give a little round of applause to this extraordinary staff of people who work with you every day. Can you stand up and give them an applause? I'm Sue Pritzker, I'm the head of school. Just a few remarks. Some of these graduates I've known since they were toddlers. They change in some ways, and they, in many ways, never change. They have always taught us about 10 times more than we could ever learn from them. They make us better teachers, better humans, better citizens. So thank you for being who you are. I'd really like to thank the families that have been through this program from the time that your children were toddlers. The support that you have given to them and to the school is just immeasurable. But I'd also like to thank the large number of families who joined us at Metro and made a commitment to a middle school program, a different school, a big commitment for your students, but it has immeasurably improved the lives of our students to have all of those students from other schools and other experiences, and it's really created a different, a larger experience for all of us. So thank you all for the support, and with thanks to Andrew, who came up with this extraordinary quote from 10,000 Maniacs. These are days you'll remember, never before and never since, I promise, with the whole world be warm as this. And as you feel it, you'll know it's true that you are blessed and lucky. It's true that you are touched by something that will grow and bloom in you. From everyone left behind as you leave this school, congratulations, and congratulations for a huge amount of really great work. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. I want to preface the next bit by saying that a few years ago, I want to say 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe, we used to do our graduation a little differently, where the graduates would do their speaking part, and then the guides would come up and do the final piece. And there was a year in which we realized the students have so much more to share than we do that is deep and exciting, and we have a lot to share, but they just do it better. So what I'd like to do now is start our address from the graduates from the guides to the graduates, and for everyone to hear our thoughts and what we want to share with you as we send you off into the world, and hopefully see you a lot, even though you'll be gone. And then we'll start. So, 8th graders, you're the Metro class of 2017, and you've arrived at your last hour of middle school and your Childpeace years, and that's kind of it's a big deal for us and a big deal for you and your families as well. In less than an hour, you won't be middle school students anymore. You'll be officially high school students, and you won't belong to us in that way. It'll be very different. You'll come back, and it'll be different when we check in with you and you chat with us and we see you. There will be a lot more of a feeling of we've been through stuff together, and there's more camaraderie there. That it's a little different. It shifts, and you'll know what I mean when you come back to visit us next year. So as we send you off on your next adventures and your challenges that are certainly going to come up and that you'll have to work on and make it through, persevere, we want you to know that each one of you has done so much work during these years, all of the years that you've been growing up, not just at Metro, to have in place the things that you need to move out into the world and see what successes you want to create for yourself. Because success is defined by you, your success is defined by you, and you can go out and make that happen. You just need to know that it's in there, and you'll guide yourself in a lot of ways with the support of your family, friends, and of course us, whenever you want to reach out to us. You're heading off into the world well equipped to make it a better place than you're finding it as you go out there. And with that in mind, each of the Metro Guides has written and wants to share some thoughts with you, to take with you and to hold on to and to reflect on. All of this will be in your folders too, so it might be a lot to take on right now, but you can always go back and look through. We'll give you copies of everything as you head out the door. So with that, Juan, we'll kick us off.
Hello. Thank you. So I want to leave you guys with a question. And to do that, I want to remind you of a song that we listened to in Spanish. Not this year, but last year. It's a song by Silvio Rodriguez, and it's called La Fábula de los Tres Hermanos, the fable of the three brothers. It's a fable. This song, it tells a story in which the oldest brother, sets out to start his life. He has his eyes set firmly on the ground, and he's focused on not taking any missteps. He doesn't get very far. His neck starts to ache from looking down, and he ends his journey early and disappointed. The song says, if your eyes don't look far ahead, you don't help your feet. The second brother sets out, and he has his eyes set firmly on the horizon, on his destination. He spends most of his time tripping over rocks and landing in ditches. If your eyes only look far into the distance, you will also not get very far. That's what the song says. So the youngest brother decides to set out, and he has one eye on the horizon and one eye on the ground close to him. But when it's time for him to tell the others where he's been and what he's done, he's confused. The song says, if your eyes look at everything at the same time, you don't even know what you're looking at. Finally, the song ends by asking us what we think the lessons of this story are. You've all arrived here, each of you with wonderful and unique experiences. We get to hear about many of these today. And you're each ready to take all of what you've been building into your next journey. And so here's my question. What do you think the lessons are in this story? And how do you want to walk on your journey? Thank you.
I know that many of you eighth graders are very excited for a particular part of the next stage of your academic journey, receiving grades. External validation distilled to a single, unmistakable letter. I understand. There's something comforting about knowing that your work is good enough or even excellent by someone else's standards. But in your journey, I encourage you to think often about how you measure your success. Marsha told me recently that there was a period in the 70s in which all US cities were reporting their data on air pollution. Los Angeles, which we all know is extremely smoggy, reported significantly lower air pollution than other cities. How could this be? It was discovered that LA was using a totally different scale than all of the other cities. Whether you're assessing your contribution to climate change or your level of personal success, it matters what scale you use. And unlike in the case of Los Angeles, your personal, unique scale is often the most accurate. You're the only one with an inside view, after all. There's nothing wrong with wanting to achieve highly, but don't forget to slow down and think about how you feel about your work and your journey. Only you know how far you've come and where you're going. Your scale is the one that matters most.
I've been on a quest with students to understand the seeds of sustainability. That's been our study for 2 months. And we observed that the same activities that nurture quality of life for us are the actions that sustain the health of the planet. So biking, tending gardens, hiking with friends, chopping wood, drawing, writing a play, working to clear trails of ivy, then sitting together and making baskets from the ivy, making music, and preparing food at campfire are all examples. The slowing down for those kind of activities is a win-win equation. Good for you equals good for the earth. Sustainability happens by keeping your connection to the simple, valuable things, even while you're working hard during high school. The times we have spent together, especially on Odyssey, Spring Trip, Cascade Mountain School, give us a way to notice how it is when we mindfully slow down the busyness of life and the cut from technology. The seeds of knowing yourself and those of friendship grow deep in your memory because we share those experiences in slow time. In the words of a favorite songwriter, this is the stuff that's real, the stuff you feel, the stuff you reach for when you fall. So my message to you is to stay connected to what's real and take the actions that sustain you and the earth.
Class of 2017. You are individually and collectively compassionate, fiercely independent, energetic, kind, focused, observant, and at your core, I believe, even though you don't show it, hopeful and optimistic. I know it feels sometimes from our conversations that the world outside of Metro does not share these qualities and values. But again, I know for certain that you will take these building blocks: compassion, independence, energy, kindness, focus, engagement, observation, hopefulness, and optimism, and take them with you to high school, to college, and to your lives after that, and bring them into the wider world, making the world a little bit more like Metro. And I think that that would be a fabulous legacy for you all to leave.
It's tough to be an 8th grader in the spring, wanting so badly to reach out for the next branch, but not quite ready to let go of the last. We're about to push you off the branch. Not because, well, we're about to push you off the branch because we know that you are ready for the challenges and the opportunities that await you in your future. When you look back on your time here, you're probably going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed at the people you were and the thoughts you had, the things you did. You're going to be amazed, and you might be a little embarrassed. But this was a space where you were able to be yourselves. And these are the classmates that you were able to act that part alongside. And we were the guides that tried to make it a space where you could be comfortable to explore those roles. So this whole messy, crazy up and down journey has been so fun and exhausting. We love you guys. We're gonna love to see you go. But not because we won't miss you, just because you've outgrown us and you're ready to spread your wings and alight onto this new exciting branch of high school. So we want to send you with our thoughts and our love and also our trust and confidence in you, the things that you will do, the wonderful original people that you are becoming. Sincerely, the guides.
Get ready, because here come the graduates. I do want to say we have 2 graduates that are not here today. They had to leave early for respective trips that they had to do. Kiara Rothenberg and Isaac Homer, we held a smaller graduation in-house ceremony for them on Friday before they left. And I know that we all miss them, and I heard a couple people saying it's just not like graduation without them. So I wonder if we should just set up a couple chairs for them somewhere, like over there. And so they won't be speaking today, but their message is in there as well. So graduates have prepared parting words for us, for you to share about their experiences, how they've grown, what they've internalized, and how their values maybe have shifted and grown as they have come through middle school. First group of graduates, you ready? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Last year's spring trip was one of the most awesome weeks of the year. Our class had so much fun bonding with each other and being out in nature. But the worst day of the trip seemed to kill the vibes for a while. People were fighting and being grumpy, and the majority of the class had at least one moment where they desperately wanted to go home. But for some of us, an awful day became so much better than we expected. expected. In the course of 2 hours, a group of people who hardly ever spent time together decided to escape the hostility and gravitate toward a certain hammock in the corner of the campsite. We were part of this group, playing games and having unimaginable fun. During that time, we bonded with each other in a strong, almost unbreakable way. Even to this day, the spring trip remains ingrained in our memories, reminding us of how we got through a tough time and came out with happy faces. It is times like these where we learn about adaptability. That day, each of us were able to adjust because of community issues and were able to have a good time on what would have been a bad day. Adaptability is a simple word whose meaning is different from person to person. It can mean changing as a person when the environment changes around you.
But it can also be learning to stay strong and keep a grip on your personality, even when waves of judgment from others and self-doubt from within want to knock you down when your back is turned. This is adapting by becoming stronger, and this is what Metro has taught me to do. I can still feel what it was like to know no one in the building on my first day here. I walked alone to my locker, watching groups of friends laughing in the corner. I panicked, worried that my shoes were weird, telling myself over and over that I would be fine if I just stayed quiet and shoved whatever weirdness wanted to come out deeper and deeper with every passing minute. I know of empathy for my past self. Going to a small school where everybody knew who you were in 3 days, where one false move would be seen by everybody in the school. However, I relate more to myself at the beginning of this year, where on the first day of the school, wore shoes that nobody else had and was bouncy and outgoing. That was an 8th grader who, over time, had become so connected with their friends that with their help, was able to swim to the surface and embrace her true self. That is the girl who learned to stay strong in a world where there is judgment, and will hopefully stay that way until everyone else learns to do the same.
We now have new things to adapt to, mainly high school. Being a freshman will be a huge change for both of us in expectations, responsibilities, freedoms, and places. I'll be going to a public school for the first time in my life, Lincoln, which will have a much larger class size in the thousands. But we will get through it, adjust to a new environment, and be different people on the other side.
I want everybody to know how grateful I am to have amazing friends that are there for me every day, and for supporting me and letting me rant when I need to, and giving them thousands of hugs every single minute. We want to thank the guys for making this a place worth loving as much as I do. Everyone in this community also made Metro worth crying more, so when I do, don't worry, I'll blame it on all of you.
We would also like to thank our parents and other family members for putting a roof over our heads, feeding us, making these past years happen for us, and being overall amazing and more supportive than we could ask for. Thank you.
Community. Now, being a fellowship with others a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Congratulations, guys, we made it. So one goal down. You know, when I first set foot in Metro Montessori Middle School 651 days ago, wide-eyed and trepidatious, thought graduation hadn't even crossed my mind. I was far too anxious about leaving the very next day with a busload of children I'd never met before. As it turns out, I need not be worried. Then I also the start of a community. Apparently, hiking for 7 miles on 95 feet dead with 40 pounds on your back is a good way to forge a friendship. During the weeks that followed, my newfound companions and I battled wasps, suffered the effects of mild dehydration, chugged Powerade, made puns about candy bars, and played cards until Isaac Headlamp ran out of batteries. Upon our return to the eagerly waiting arms of protective parents who may know how it went, I realized that my initial trepidation on my classmates had dimmed to be replaced by something akin to excitement. It happened almost without my noticing, so I had the simple thought, maybe they're not so frightening, maybe I'll give them a shot. I did. And before I realized it, they're some of my best friends, people who had been 10 days ago perfect strangers. They've made every day harder, every joke funnier, every memory sweeter. I'm so honored to be graduating alongside them today. My fellow 8th years, I speak now to you. The hope I carry with me today to the middle school behind us is that even if you remember not a word of my speech, you remember the time we spent together in the community we belong to. I know I will. And while I have a moment, I'd like to thank my parents and my uncle for the never-ending support. My friends for the roller coaster journey we've been on together, ups and downs, but mostly a lot of fun. My teachers, past and present, for getting me where I am today. And lastly, I'd like to thank everyone I've ever spoken to, coming up with my ceaseless stream of facts. Such as, did you know that there are 7,175,095 people graduating school today in the U.S. alone? So thank you, everyone.
When I moved to Portland and went to a new school, I took a lot of risks. One of them was going on the Odyssey when I knew no one. It all started the first morning of the trip when Sophie asked me if I wanted to sit with her on the bus. I said yes. On the 4-hour bus ride to our campsite, Sophie and I became very good friends. We laughed and Sophia updated me all about Childpeace. When we got to our campsite, we split up into our small group. Jonah was in mine. When we went about our lives like we did, and I was still becoming friends with Sophia and many more people. When it became time to go backpacking, this was the second risk I had to take involving the Odyssey. All the friends I had made, I was now leaving, and I had to make new friends. When we were backpacking, Jonah and I were usually at the front of the group, so we had a lot of time to talk. This is when we became very good friends and had a lot of fun together. All throughout the Odyssey, there were a lot of risks to take, and it taught me that the more you take risks, the more you will get out of it. This is a skill that I learned by moving here, and that Metro helped me use. You will take risks for the rest of your life, and I am grateful that I got to practice it at Metro. I grow as a person by taking risks every day, and whether they are social, physical, or academic.
A risk I took this year was when we went polar dipping on a spring trip. We were in Vancouver, Canada in the spring, so the water was extremely cold. Eva jumped in first with a couple other people that had done it before. When it came to be my turn, I thought I was ready, but I was not. Eva and I were planning on jumping in together, but I decided as Eva was jumping that it wasn't going to happen. I finally came to my senses and jumped when I remembered that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I realized that I probably was not going to jump into a sea while I was in Canada anytime in the near future. When I jumped, the feeling was pure shock. Now looking back on it, I really enjoyed the new experience and I'm glad that I did it. It was extremely cold in the water, so as soon as we got out, it seemed really warm. The risk I took helped me grow as a person because I have now experienced something I was not ever planning on doing, but also because I now know risk taking is important because it exposes you to new things every day. I will take this memory with me forever and cherish what a fun experience it was.
One of my risk-taking experiences at Metro was on the 7th grade Odyssey trip with Eva, Ty, Luke, and I. We're all hiking with our super heavy backpacks, and we decided to stop for a break. We came across this huge mountain-like structure, and immediately my friends wanted to climb up it. I really wanted to go with them, however, I was really scared of heights. So they were all urging me to climb up with them, so I finally thought this would be a good experience for me to overcome my fears and take a risk. The first part was pretty easy until I got higher and higher, and I started to get really scared, and I just wanted to get down. I looked back and down, and I had no idea how I got there in the first place. The only way to go was up. I tried sticking my foot in multiple places, and eventually I found a way that I could hoist myself up by using my leg. Somehow, I found a way to the top, and there I found my friends. I looked down at the view, and it's absolutely breathtaking, and I know it would have been a huge mistake if I hadn't taken the risk and stayed on the mountain. My friends and I enjoyed the view for a while until it was time to come down and start hiking again. This was one of my best experiences of risk-taking at Metro. I learned that if you take good risks, then it can have a big positive effect on you. I also learned that I'm not even that afraid of heights.
We would like to thank all of our friends at Metro who made it extraordinarily fun and for lightening up all the rough days we've experienced.
We would like to thank all of our teachers, Laura, Sarah, John, Marcia, Greta, Nancy, and of course, Juan Jose Bueno, for cramming so much information into our brains and for helping us get through any rough times we had.
And last but not least, our parents. Mothers Melissa, Stephanie, and Dondi, and fathers, Dan, Eric, and Michael, for encouraging us every day. Thank you.
Optimism is the madness of insisting that all is well when we are miserable. Through my many years at Childpeace and now at Metro, there have been very few times when I've been truly miserable. But during those rare times, I've learned how to make the most of my opportunities and how to try and remain positive through any adversity that I must face personally or within the community. The best way I think I can show how I've learned to be optimistic is by sharing one of my experiences on our most recent school trip to British Columbia. One activity we were able to partake in during this trip was canoeing in an 18-person canoe. It definitely had the potential to be enjoyable. Unfortunately, the day we went out, it was raining, windy, and the sky was dark gray. We began rowing off to a relatively close island, and normally in a situation like this, I'd be relatively nervous, but my rowing partner was Hayden. He was one of the more experienced sailors I know, and he was acting normally, until we began to row. When we realized the level of skill that my other classmates and I were showing was our highest level of skill, he started freaking out a little. Then I started freaking out a little, and then he started saying we were probably going to capsize. And I got really nervous. But then I tried to be optimistic. Instead of just getting scared out of my mind, I thought to myself how all the stuff in my backpack was wrapped in plastic, and all our clothes would just dry later, and how we could all swim. So in my head I said, it wouldn't be that bad if we capsized. And I just started smiling, and I felt better. As Marcia told me, change your attitude, change your life. And in the end, we didn't capsize, and by changing my outlook on the situation, I actually enjoyed canoeing quite a bit. Without this sense of optimism, my Metro experience, my life as a whole, and the lives of all those around me would be a lot less pleasant. So for those reasons, I would like to thank my teachers and parents for showing me how to be optimistic. But most of all, I would like to thank my friends for putting me in situations where optimism is necessary.
Math has easily been my highest interest since the first day I could count to 10. The way that it can describe any object, shape, behavior has always been an unfaltering fascination that is reinforced with stimuli of the world around me. My earliest memories of using Montessori math material go back to the days before Childpeace, during my time at the Montessori of Alameda. Squatting on a rug in the center area of the workspace, I would search for the next tile that fit into the sequence of the hundredths board in front of me. I worked in silence, carefully placing each number on its designated square. It could take up to an hour as I rearranged it to create patterns where I did odd numbers only, or did numbers with a 5 in it. Experimentation created contentment for me in attaining new knowledge of something that I had not been aware of before. Finding a concept that I could base upon the previous knowledge I had was extremely gratifying. Sometimes, though, I struggled to get a grasp on what the numbers meant, and I would give up. However, my interest in it drew me back to reattempt it. When I finished it, there was always the satisfaction in knowing the fact that, even though I did not always conquer the hundreds board, I continued to push through the mental discomfort and complete the task at hand. Just like skipping all numbers that are divisible by 2, I started to see a pattern develop. The more that you drive for an activity that is unpleasing, the larger the fruit you will reap from the outcome. All work has no relation to your fulfillment if you are unable to apply the simple truths to it. One of the most important values that I've practiced in my Montessori education that directly coincides with the other most important one in my opinion, independence, has definitely been a good use of persistence. After my time at Montessori of Alameda, I entered Childpeace in first grade, where I was introduced to dozens of new math materials. And while I did not master them all right away, I applied my persistence and got to them in the end. In Metro, I do not use so many of the math materials anymore as I work out of a textbook. But I still utilize my persistence to keep me moving forward. Though I use my math experiences as an example, persistence applies to anything that requires work every day. I run into situations with the same ending as the last one, and if it wasn't for persistence, I would not be able to succeed in the things I hoped to. I would like to acknowledge my teachers for all the effort and time they spent on me, the amount of which were not fit on a sheet of paper. My parents and family for always being ready to catch me on the very long fall I sometimes make. And my friends for reminding me that I need to loosen up sometimes so as not to drive myself crazy. In his book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill has a chapter named after persistence, calling it the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. He says that there may be no heroic connotation to the word persistence, but the quality is to the character of man what carbon is to steel. I like to think of it that persistence is to the character of man, as you parents are to the enjoyment of all us students' lives. Thank you.
real security man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. Henry Ford. This school has always taught us the value of working as a team, but it has also taught us the value of independence. I can't really say what I thought about independence when I first began at this school because I was much too young to remember, but I can say what I think about it now. Independence is the ability to stand out from the crowd. Independence is the power to show people what you think. People have fought and sacrificed their lives for this basic right, and there have been over 58 wars just to earn it. We even have a day dedicated to it. So you can see why it's important why it is important that we exercise the right to independence. That is one of my favorite things about Metro. It fosters and helps us develop our sense of independence. We have always been able to do things that my friends in other schools would never be able to do, and it is even more evident. Just the fact that we get to go out for lunch and go off campus to get school supplies is just stunning. It's not just the things that we get to do, it's also the curriculum that teaches us about how others have gained and lost their independence. We are assigned work to complete independently, and that is very important to our learning. It not only prepares us for high school and then college, it prepares us for the rest of our lives. I would like to thank Metro and my teachers for helping me grow in an independent way that allows me to reach my full potential. And I would like to thank my friends and family for supporting me and allowing me to get to this point in a way where I can finish this stage of my learning with a sense of accomplishment that only comes with the level of independence we have here at Metro. Thank you.
Today, we'd like to talk about creativity. Creativity is one of the building blocks of humanity itself. It's what makes us all human. Without creativity, nothing can be created or destroyed. It's the way we learn, the way we grow, the way we change, both ourselves and the world. Today, we're going to tell you about a part of our lives, our artistic side, our inventive side, our imagination, the creativity that makes us, us.
Hi, I'm Mason. I've done a lot of creative things in my time, but nothing as creative as right now. Towards the end of the year, a friend and I once wrote a very creative story called The Legendary Story of Biffy McBuffersnazzle. This story was filled with all sorts of great moments, like elephants raining down from the sky, to helicopters breaking apart the biggest house in the world. The absurdity of this story was crazy. It filled both my friend and I with laughter. It was incredibly fun just to let our imaginations run wild. No restrictions, infinite possibilities born from our creativity.
Hi, my name is Grace. When I first came to Metro, I started to draw. It was the first time I had really drawn for fun, and it became something that I really enjoyed. Back at the start of my Metro experience, my drawings were terrible. They looked like something out of a 5-year-old sketchbook. But as I got more and more experience, my drawings slowly became something that I could be proud of today. Drawing changed the way I see things, the way I appreciate art. It changed my creative thinking and opened up a whole new world for me. My skills will only continue to improve with time, and though I know I'll never have the talent of many, I'm happy with being my own 5-year-old artist. Internal fulfillment is one of the things creativity is all about.
Hi, I'm Nick. About halfway through the year, some of my friends and I did a huge mural on the entranceway to Metro. This happened during a class called Creative Expression, where we decided that the wall was too boring. At first we thought that teachers would not allow us to repaint it, and that it was way too risky and ambitious to hand a group of middle schoolers some paint and let them repaint the wall. But when they did, we were so happy. I helped to drawing and painting of the mural. We worked on it every Wednesday for about 3 hours. When it was done, I can't really say what it felt like. I couldn't believe the big thing we had worked on all year was actually done. The feeling of accomplishment was amazing. My creative brain was content with this thing that I never thought would be even get approved.
Creativity is something we all have inside us. It's one of the main ways we think, how we inspire ourselves and others, how we brainstorm, how we come up with ideas, how we evolve. It reflects who we are. As Albert Einstein once said, creativity is intelligence having fun.
We would like to thank our parents, relatives, and our loved ones for always being there and supporting us, providing us food and care.
We would like to thank our teachers for encouraging us and teaching us, putting up with our strange conversations, obsessions, questions, mess-making, instruction, complaints, and unattentive nature.
And lastly, we would like to thank our pets and friends, the ones who make us laugh, who we can talk to about everything. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Raina, and this is Clint. The theme we have chosen to base our speech around is bonding. I have had so many bonding experiences throughout my 2 years at Metro. I think Metro is a great community, big enough to have lots of friends, but not so big that you can't keep track of them. One of the first bonding experiences I had was on my first Odyssey. I was in a tent group with 2 people I would later become really good friends with, although I did not know that at the time. After the long, grueling camping trip, it was a relief to get back into a regular air-conditioned schedule. I started talking to other people, sharing memories of the Odyssey. A lot of the people I talked to had a lot of the same feelings and memories of the Odyssey as I did. It was really nice to share experiences with people you don't really know.
Most of the stories I've heard classmates tell about the Odyssey are like, we met and immediately became friends. Sadly, our Odyssey was not like that. We were in the same tent and hiking groups, but in our tent, nobody actually said anything besides, can you wake me up in the morning if I'm not already up? I was wary of Raina because she was kind of weird in a way I hadn't seen before. She was really great at catching fish and snakes, and she was also an amazing artist, so I admit I was pretty jealous. Those are both things I do a lot. But a month or so into the school year, as we were sitting at the same table in art class, we struck up a conversation and we've been friends ever since.
After I was more comfortable in the Metro environment, my bonding started to branch out. On the Odyssey this year, I was able to hang out with more people I didn't really know. During occupations in humanities, there were many projects where we had to work in small groups. Sometimes none of the people I usually hang out with were in my group. I was forced to interact and work with other people, or else all of my work would have been turned in late. I had lots of fun, more than I thought I would have. You can learn a lot about someone when you are forced to write a paper together.
I have always been a bit of an outsider, like the weird artist kid hiding in the corner and sketching, and Metro has been one of the first schools I've been to where even the people I don't consider myself friends with have a certain amount of respect and tolerance for me. A true community doesn't have to be a place where everyone is best friends with everyone, because that's just unrealistic. It can just be a place where everyone contributes their ideas and points of view and everyone respects everyone else, and Metro has that feel to it.
Thank you to our parents for driving us to school every morning and being generally awesome. We'd also like to thank the teachers for teaching us about math, science, writing, Spanish, and lots of cool random facts. Thank you.
As a wise person once said, I am patient with stupidity, but not with those who are proud of it. I have been at Metro for only 2 years, but I feel as though Metro is like my second home, and not only because I come here 7 hours a day. Metro has taught me many things, and one of them is patience. Metro Montessori has taught me how to be more patient. Whether it was waiting in the line for what felt like an eternity to get a single slice of pizza, or forcing me to hike many miles on my way there. Either way, it resulted in the growth of my patience. When I first came to Metro, I was an impatient person. I thought that I could get everything my way immediately, and that I thought I could get it through sheer force. But as the year progressed, I learned that's not really the way things go around here. At the start of 8th grade, I had to learn how to be patient in a new way. I had to learn how to be patient with the incoming 7th graders. Not only did I need to get to know them, but I also needed to tell them about the way things go around here. It was extremely difficult, seeing as I have endless amounts of energy, even though they're very short. Another way I learned to be patient was while I was in New York, attending Montessori Model United Nations. While we were in New York, I wanted to do a lot of things, from shopping at the Supreme store to sightseeing. The list went on. Unfortunately, all of the other students wanted to do a lot of things as well, and we didn't have a lot of time. In the end, we ended up compromising, and I got to do most of the things I wanted to do. I've been patiently waiting for the school year to end, and now that it is, it's kind of sad. Being a freshman will be a challenge, but it's a challenge I'm willing to take. All in all, Metro has taught me many good life lessons, but patience was maybe the best one. I'd like to end my speech by saying thank you. First, I'd like to thank the Metro staff for putting up with me and tolerating me. I'd also like to thank my parents for driving me to school and making me lunch. And finally, I'd like to thank all of my friends. You are really the reason I am the person I am today. Thank you.
For our speeches, we have decided to do a collection of our memories. The first starts on our 7th grade spring trip.
Into our very first rocking trip, having a laugh. It was full of adventure and suspense, but not all the suspense was always on the rapids. During one of our slower parts, our guide gave us a suggestion to play some boat games. He said his favorite was called T-Trust. It was where two people would take their paddles and hook the T handles at the end of the paddle together and lean back over the water, trusting the other won't drop you.
I grabbed a paddle and slowly started to lift myself onto the outside rim of the raft. It was very wobbly, so it was difficult to keep my balance. Hallie was on the other side, also wobbling quite a bit. We reached the ends of our paddles towards each other and linked the handles together. The point of the game was to trust one another. We were supposed to lean back as far as we could over the water and balance each other while trying not to fall in. This did not work out very well. I got scared and stood up too fast. I can remember Hallie's horrified/angry face as she went backwards, tumbling into the ice cold water. I hopped down and looked over the side of the raft where she had fallen over. I looked at her, and she was half mad, half laughing. "Sorry," I yelled. She said, "I'll get you back." And sure enough, 20 minutes later, I was drenched from head to toe. Another experience happened on this year's spring trip. We were climbing over huge rocks and steep paths as we hiked up Gambier Island. I remember hearing deep breaths of exhaustion that slowly disappeared as we reached the top. When we got there, it was a beautiful view and a giant boulder with bright green moss all over it. Everyone immediately sat down and took in the experience that we just had. As we sat there, we all went around in a circle saying our highs and lows of the trip. When the last person was going, I glanced at Hallie to see that she was cheering up. I asked, "Are you okay?"
And I just shook my head. Once the last person was done speaking, Kayla approached me and asked, "What's wrong?" And, her knowing exactly what I meant, I said, "This is it." We hugged, and she said, "I'm going to miss you so much next year." I replied with, "This entire year I've been trying to figure out what a true friend is to me and how I can be a true friend. Thank you for being one of those few people who will listen to my deepest thoughts, my hopes and dreams, and the things that matter to me. Thank you for teaching me how to be a good friend."
Each of these stories revolve around the power of friendship. Friendship is valuable and will always be a part of all of our lives.
We would like to thank all of our family, teachers, and others who have influenced us into being the people we are today. We are so grateful for everything you guys have done for us, especially our parents, who drive us from and to school every day, feed us every night, and give us their everything. Thank you.
Every Wednesday, Ainsley and I go to music class at school. Every Wednesday, we pick out a song to sing together. This is our final Wednesday, so we'll be sharing that song with you. think that you know my heart, and you probably do. So I'm always with you. Stay with you for hours and you never get bored, never have nothing to do. You may other half, you amaze me, what makes you smile. When I fall down, I can't get back up on my feet. Without you here, I am boring. Something inside you is triggering. It makes me myself, makes me funny. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low, you're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low, we find the rainbow up in the sky. You say, don't you cry, it's all gonna be alright. See, I've gone through a fight or war that would be bad, 'cause you know all of my secrets, but I know all of yours. We make hours turn into seconds together. The weight of the world feel like a feather, 'cause we're holding it right in our hands. You may other half, you what makes me need, what makes me smile. When I fall down, I can't get back up on my feet. Without you here, I am boring. Something inside you is triggering. It makes me myself, makes me funny. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low, you're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low, you and me together. We'll forget what we have been told. We'll live in our own dream world. You and me forever. We'll forget what we have been told. We will take on the whole world. Without you here, I am boring. Something inside you is triggering. Makes me myself, makes me funny. You're a beautiful thing. We're a beautiful thing together. Even when the weather is low. And that's a beautiful thing.
Alrighty. Thank you, graduates. All of it was beautiful. And that song was exactly right. So, let's see what's on here. We've got the presentation of our service awards. I just want to say, you guys are incredible human beings. All right, onward. We have graduate words and then we have presentation of service awards. We're almost there. A few more minutes and you'll all have cake. All right, so I'm going to read names, and we do have a handful of students, I believe we have 9 this year, who have reached or surpassed the 30 hours that are required for the year to earn this service award. And we're going to call you up. Please come up when you hear your name and receive your service award and pin from me. All right, it'll be in alphabetical order. Yes, so the pins are a beehive, and that's what we give every year to students along with their certificate. They are representative of our community and something to take along with you. The service is done, we do some services in school, and thank you to all of the parents and family members who have helped out with that. It's been a phenomenal year for service. Stephanie Carlson has really headed up that effort with us, and it's been fabulous. And students have really been able to go out into the world and try out different service. And the goal and the hope is that they will, every single one of them, whether or not they reach their 30 hours, will go on and continue to be connected to their communities and continue to serve others in a way that is meaningful to them. And that's different for everybody. For some people, it's planting trees, and there's a real connection there with the earth and with those things that are growing. And for other people, it's going to be working with in a homeless shelter or packaging food for families that need to have meals delivered or need to pick up food from the food bank. So whatever that service is, we encourage every single one of you and families to be out there connecting with communities and being part of that and making sure that all of this continues to grow and doesn't end here. So let's see. First up, we'll have Ainsley Moss. Kiara Rothenberg is not here, but Kiara also did complete her service. And Eva Carlson. Hallie Richards. Holden Gilman. Jake Davis. Joseph Sherry. Liam Threlkill. And Ty Sherman. I'm sorry, Jonah Pooh, I skipped over Jane. Sorry about that. All right. And now is the finale. It's a long finale. I'm going to ask all of the guys to come up, please. And then we will present you with all of the graduates. I might move this podium out of the way. All right, so when you hear your name again alphabetically, you know what to do, right? Okay. Alrighty. Everybody ready? Ainsley Moss. And let's hold the applause until the end, maybe. Should we do that? And then we'll get everybody going? Oh, first row, right. Okay, now Ainsley Moss. Come on up. Benjamin Kim. Sometimes our alphabetizing skills are off. That was probably what happened there. Caroline Bolton. Again, Kiara, who already received her certificate. And Eva Carlson. Grace Biles. Helena Richards. Holden Gilding. Isaac Homer also received his certificate already. Jake Davis. Joseph Sherry. Joe Naboo. Kayla Palmer. Liam Peralta. Mason White. Natalie Lawrenson. Nicholas Burkett. Odin Paxton. Quinn Armstrong. Raina Smith. Sophia Marie Soriello. And Ty Shannon. Yes, and I'm gonna ask guides to come on up after. Ty's waiting for you. Yeah. And then graduates, I'm going to move this podium, give you some room, and then after we apply, we'll do our check down there. You'll come forward. Okay. So hopefully everybody can see everybody else. But I'd like to present you with the 2017 Metro graduates.